Cooks here. I mean, I feel like we give a lot of real props to Speed, but then Cooks is in the backfield doing so much of the dirty work and popping off himself. I mean, Cooks and Speed alone, we saw the passive play they got earlier, then the mind game to start things out. Both these players, have been really stepping it up, and that's because, sometimes when the responsibility that gets placed on certain players in moments of doubt, it can elevate their skill, it can elevate their mechanics, everything. And Speed and Cooks, whenever they were faced with a tough decision, they brought on Arju. They've had a lot more responsibility individually as players, and they have stepped up to the challenge.
And on the other side of things, for Dignitas, it feels like, I said this yesterday, it feels like when they are playing their game, they're the best team in the world. And they did that against Barcelona. I mean, they destroyed Barcelona yesterday. Can they get that game plan going today where it's these passing plays, the infield passing plays, finding each other, getting everyone involved, and keeping the ball away from the defense? That's really where Dignitas shines, and they're one of the few teams that can execute it so perfectly. Here's Arju on a shot, and Astral there to clear it away. Both these teams have a game plan. It's about who executes it better here in this series. There's no surprises with these two teams. They've been in the scene for a while. Most of these players have been in the RLCS for a while, so
yeah,
nothing will come out of surprise here.
I mean, yesterday, Dignitas against Barca, like we talked about, they obliterated them. And that was a lot due to the versatility and the several different approaches that they had against the ball. And that was, Astral going for insane double touches. Yukio being the most aggressive player so far with bumps and demos. And then Panda, he was in form yesterday. His shooting, passing, everything. But what is this scramble in front of the net? What is happening here?
So there's a lot happening, really, because the defense gets tied up by pushing the ball too far. Astral's trying to force the play, but Violent Panda gets in way in the defense that's trying to rotate around to the backside of the ball to make the save, and he stops anyone inside the goal from getting around on the ball, and that's how Astral can push it through, and Violent Panda will get credit on the goal. But wow, what a play for Dignitas to start things off. Not how you draw it up, but beautifully executed in the end in what they were going for.
I mean, we talk about Dignitas and we think about, incredible possession, beautiful passes. And then we see a play like that and we're a little bit confused, but then it's almost like you got to respect them more because they can just do it all. So these guys, you don't want to let them get on a tear.
You really don't. And Achieves always says it best. Rocket League is an improviser's game. And that was some improvising right there from Dignitas, but they saw what was going on there, and once Violent Panda got in the way, things went better for him.
Astro almost got a flip reset there too. What a pass out there. Would have expected somebody to get a shot on net. So far, opportunities left and right. Things lurking even more on the offensive side for Dignitas. Things just really going their way.
Yeah, and this ball dangerously skirting across the field or inside the box of Mouse. A great pass over to Violent Panda. From Astral, but Speed cuts it out. So far, Mouse really hasn't shown us much on the offensive side of things. It's really been all Dignitas. They've been playing a much faster game at the moment. Here's Violent Panda, no boost to work with. As the attack may fizzle out here for Dignitas. Here's Speed, who's trying to get involved. He's been the man for this team as of late. Haven't seen too much of him here in the first half of game one. Cooks here. Now Speed. Again, looking for that high ball above the net. Arju just waiting to see what Dignitas does with it. Yukio finds the back wall. Cooks here there to clear it away, and Dignitas happy to play this boom ball game. Mouse really isn't threatening with anything here, but now it might come as Cooks here pops it up. And Mouse trying to keep the attack on. Big miss there from Violent Panda. Speed gets bumped into it, but Speed might go all the way himself, and he will to tie it up.
Speed, the solo play. He doesn't even need any of his teammates. Panda needed to get a touch there. He should have got a hit, but then as Panda's rotating out, he actually bumped Speed into the ball with a little bit of a pull hit, and it wasn't powerful enough to knock Speed off of his wheels. He carried the momentum forward, and a lucky break for him, and that's how you tie it up. That's a frustrating play for Panda, but a very fortunate one for Speed, and he capitalized on it.
Able to take advantage, even with being bumped and harassed as he got onto that ball. Violent Panda pushes one across the net here. And that's really the best look that Mouse has had since the beginning of the game, when a couple of shots went wide for him, but it's been all Dignitas here so far as Mouse slowly starting to get back into this game with that goal. Cooks here trying to keep things alive for their attack. It will crumble away as Astral throws it downfield.
Huge clears out from Mousesports. A lot of real midfield space has been given to them by Dignitas. They're kind of just letting them do what they want with these huge clears, expecting them to give away possession. So far, it's been somewhat going their way, but it comes down to whether or not Mouse are going to realize that and push up with maybe a little bit more dribbles. But what a fake from Astral, breaking axles.
Huge fake here from Astral. Watch what he does. He doesn't have a lot of boost, so he fakes like he's going to go for the shot and plays for the block. And Cooks here got absolutely mind game through it. His teammates there to back him up on the shot, and a 2-1 go-ahead goal for Dignitas.
And even there for Cooks, I mean, I would have expected Astral not even to go for the shot on net, but maybe for a flick pass off the backboard. But instead, he just mind game everything Cooks here was thinking about. And Yukio, a big miss there, could have really sealed the deal here, as maybe you just got to keep it up for Mouse to have somewhat of a chance. A good dribble from Cooks, a nice flick as well. Arju, maybe a chance they keep it up. Yukio off the backboard. Cooks is there for the drop, and he finally.
He give it to him.
Wait, what? I thought he was on Dignitas for a second.
Cookser wanted to give it to Speed, but Speed was rotating out. He was going to lay it off because he knew he didn't have enough momentum to hit that ball on target, and he was going to dish it off to Speed, but the play wasn't read, and Mouse just let it die in the corner. Dignitas squeak out a Game 1 win.
That, I 100%, when I saw Cooks get that hit, I thought it was a Dignitas player, like without a doubt. I even saw the Batmobile. I didn't care. I didn't even care because that touch just seems so intent to just kill the ball. But what it came for Dignitas, I mean, this first goal, to start things off with a goal like this, like what even is that? That is crazy. Panda just literally blockading everybody in net. And then I thought that Mouse were going to have a great comeback after Speed was able to get some kind of real power on that hit from Panda with a bump. I mean, these goals were crazy, Krillin.
I just watched that replay back of Violent Panda. He hit Speed in the mouth twice as Speed's trying to get back into the net to make that save. And then Violent Panda finally sees the ball almost cross the goal line and just side flips into it and calls it a goal. So for Dignitas there, again, Rocket League really is an improviser's game, and sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's that type of gameplay that gives you a goal, but you have to do it. And for Dignitas there, able to scrap out a good Game 1 victory here. And I feel like they, for the most part, up until the end, where I felt like Mouse was really getting back into it, Dignitas was playing the game that they want. They got the passing game going. They had most of the possession. Even in that final third, Dignitas is so good at keeping possession in the final third. And you can see what it does to a defense in Mouse.
Yeah, and I think it's a very, very good look for Dig because, you know, a lot of their goals and games yesterday almost getting in. Cooks here, finish it off. I didn't think he had the time and the boost to get to this ball before it bounced out, but the first goal goes in the favor of Mouse.
What a reaction from Cooks here, too. That backflip to just keep the play alive, and then he realized he could score it afterwards. Those are some quick reactions from Cooks here, and he's able to put it away off that challenge that pinches out right at him. So immediately a great start here for Mousesports as they get the first goal in Game 2. Do what they couldn't at the end of Game 1. Here's Arju. Haven't had to call his name too much as of late. Violent Panda trying to just throw it into the Mouse side. Here's Astral to play it across and trying to find someone inside the box. You can see Mouse diving at the ball a little bit, trying to get it out. Yukio pops it up, tries to get by one. Violent Panda here into the corner, and that defense getting spread out, but no follow-up from Astral as Cooks are there to clear it away.
Passing starting to come out a little bit more from Dignitas. I like what I'm seeing here. You know, they're realizing that they can't take the same approach to every single shot where they're going for a blockade in net, so they're going to pass a little bit more throughout the midfield. Panda as well, taking it slow here. Like the decision making I'm seeing, going for 50-50s as well. Yukio as well, he's had a couple of chances here and there on the net. I think his shooting is warming up a little bit on the day. There's been maybe 3 to 4 shots where I really think he could have hammered one into the back of the net, or at least given Dignitas a better chance. If he can start getting those mechanics a little bit more warm, I think Dig's going to look even scarier.
They certainly, again, are back to controlling the pace of the game. It's really Mouse on the reaction of what Dignitas is doing right now. And they're resorting to a lot of big clears as well. You pointed it out, Turtle Mouse, just happy to boom the ball away when they experience so much pressure from Dignitas, but that really doesn't result in in pressure of their own for Mouse. As again, this ball just thrown back to Yukio, who puts a shot on target, and everyone racing back from Mouse as that one almost just climbed into the net itself. Astral, can he get a second touch? Has boost to work with, and Cooks are there to clear it out.
Oh, it's a difficult thing as well. I mean, Mouse, you know they're trying to get this ball out of their own end, but their boost is just getting consumed so much by the players of Dignitas that they can't push somebody forward. And if they're going to do that, it's going to be a risky play. So much safer to keep somebody rotating back constantly instead of hoping your teammates are going to have this clear. But at what point are you just going to allow so much starvation, so much pressure? A bump like that is going to seal the deal to get this ball as Mousesports can finally move out of their own end.
And here's Speed with the shot. It's a bit high. Cooks here again, a high shot, and Arju smartly stays back in the midfield after 2 goes, and a couple of good looks for Mouse. Still can't convert here on the attack, even experiencing so much pressure. Here's Cooks here again, a shot back post turned away by Violent Panda. And even with all this, Dignitas still down by 1 with all the possession, the pressure, the ball control that we've seen. Dignitas still haven't been able to crack the defense of Mouse, and now Mouse knocking on the door themselves. Cooks here goes for the bump. Speed trying to make the save, but what a save from Astral to get out of that bump and get back to the play.
Oh, but you can see still the pressure getting stacked on top of Dig, but then these clears have been so much more impressive as well. On top of that fantastic save from Astral, these guys are getting closer and closer to the shot. Thought that was going to be it. Yukio on the backboard, saw the pass, got the reaction, couldn't find the angle. These guys so close to the net, but they can't find the finishing shot.
And those were 2 good looks there from Dignitas as well. They had the defense spread out. There was a gap inside the net. Just couldn't hit the target. Yukio put it wide. Astro, what a touch from him coming down, and a huge save follow-up from Yukio. Violent Panda's going to go as well. Dignitas sends the house, and finally Astro's going to barrel through and muscle it into the net to tie it up.
I mean, Astral is just frustrated at this point. He had that amazing double tap opportunity where it was going in, and he says, really, you're going to make me score a much more simpler goal with just a 50? I mean, he's going to take it. But what a play from Astral to rotate back in, get the tying up goal. This is what I'm talking about. Dignitas getting a little bit more warm with the shots, and finally that pressure will make the defense of Mousesports break.
And I think Dignitas were confident knowing with the amount of pressure, just the chances that they were generating, the type of chances that they were generating, they were confident that they were going to finally find the back of the net. Only enough to tie up the game. Mouse have had a couple good looks on offense, but they've come far and few between. Arju plays it off the back wall. No harm here for Dignitas. Dangerous ball comes down to Astral. He decides to fake the challenge and rotate back. Speed off the back wall. Arju's there, and Cooks here. He's got to make the save coming back. Great pinch there. Astral's going to be in front of the net. Nobody home for Mouse, and a 2-1 go-ahead goal for Dignitas.
And who better than the team captain himself to get that pinch all the way across the net. Back-to-back goals here for Dignitas. They stay in the lead, or they keep the lead, excuse me, start this momentum for themselves. I mean, this has been really back and forth, and it feels like we've been waiting for a counterattack out of Mousesports, and that's it. Dignitas have had all the pressure. There's the counterattack, almost an opportunity for Cooks. He misses by just an inch, and the final 10 seconds are counting down.
And it might be the last chance here for Mouse. Violent Panda, great dunk, 3 seconds left. Cooks has got to make the play to keep it alive, and it's up to Speed now. No boost to work with, and no teammates to help him. Astral's going to put it away for a 3-1 scoreline, and that's Dignitas 2-0 up in the series.
Oh, that's rough, and I was worried. I was really worried for Dig when I started seeing that shooting accuracy at the beginning of this game, that maybe I was going to get, Season 8 league play flashbacks with a lot of their shooting percentages being super low, but they picked it up here. The shooting has been on par, really, if not better than Mouse, especially when they get those opportunities. And thanks to Astral, I mean, 3 goals, the hat trick. This man was unstoppable. Then that pinch pass from Panda. This was a really solid performance from them, and they definitely picked it up with it took them about 4 minutes to get warm, and then things really started to go on their way.
Well, to be honest, I mean, you look at the scoreline, you see Astro with 3 goals, 6 shots. I mean, it could have been any of the other players, Violent Panda or Yukio, with 3 goals themselves. Everyone had opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
And when one missed, the other would also have a chance. So there was 1, 2, 3 opportunities in the same play. It was just kind of roulette on who was going to score it. Astro does a great job of finally being the one to clean things up for Dignitas. But that gameplay that you saw, that control in that final third is really what makes Dignitas such a scary team. And they did such a good job, even when they were down. You know, they let one in from Mouse, but you could see the pace of play that they were playing at. They were able to keep that ball in the final third, keep the pressure on the defense. And Mouse could never really break out and generate any sort of offense.
Yeah. And I mean, I love the way you phrase that, Corelli. You know, constantly putting on shots, waiting for that final opportunity. It doesn't matter. And even in that play with Astro, you saw where he got the double touch and then continued to rotate in and get another challenge on the ball. It's that type of relentless pressure that Mouse are lacking right now. And that's because they're pushed so far back and they're just going for these booming clears that we have seen a lot. Where is the passing between Cooks here and Speed that we have seen yesterday all throughout the first day? Their passing was outstanding. Speed was being aggressive and receiving a lot of those booming clears.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that from Mouse. There's been a lot of long clears that have been to no one, and Dignitas have been able to really keep up with it, keep the ball after Mouse gives it back up. So for Mouse, I think the biggest thing is it really is keeping that ball and then finishing the chances. You know you're not going to get as many as Dignitas right now. It's just how it's been throughout this series. But you've got to convert when you see it, when that opportunity arises. So we go on to game 3. Dignitas trying to close this one out in a 3-0 fashion. I don't think a lot of people would expect that. I think Mouse would give them a tougher time here. They've been a couple close games, but Speed and Co haven't really been able to find the back of the net. But how about Arju getting involved here in the first minute, and Mouse on the board first?
Speed took it himself. We saw that big clear and then him with the follow-up, where he could put one on net. And they're doing a little bit of that tactic from Dignitas where they can put several shots, blast it at the target, make a save come out, and then clean it up easily after that. Mousesports, this is so much better so far within the first minute. I mean, we've already seen an improvement. And look at this pressure from Speed 2 getting up in that midfield. This is what I want to talk about whenever I say pushing that defensive line forward.
Yeah, and maybe put, you know, Dignitas on the back foot here, that they've really commanded a lot of space during this series. You have to push them back, like you said, Turtle. Can't let them play their game in these passing lanes that they're finding through the midfield. Right now, Mouse really hasn't had much of an answer as this one comes out to Yukio. Dangerous position here if you're Mouse. As this one comes across, Yukio tried to dribble it in the net himself. Astral to pick it up. Dignitas still keeping possession. You can see, even after a botched opportunity, they're still able to keep possession and keep the attack going. Now Speed on the dribble, immediately deleted.
And it's just a frustrating thing to watch, but here's a great chance for Cooks here. Okay, after the 50-50, I thought whenever this demo on Speed came out, maybe we'd see a good counterattack, but that 50, he just stuffed Yukio in the face.
I guess everyone else went for a boost on Dignitas. I thought surely a Dignitas player would be back for that challenge, but Cooks here able to get the demo and the goal here on the challenge. And Mouse will be happy to sit on a 2-goal lead here, as things have gotten going for them in the scoring department. Here's one off the back wall. Dignitas trying to right their wrongs here with another goal. Astral, that one's high, but now the counterattack's on for Speed if he can get a hold of it. Can he put it past Yukio? And he can't get back in time. A 3-goal lead for Mouse.
And at the end of the day, Astral's just got to put that one on target. That pass out from Panda was flawless. I mean, there is nothing more you could have asked for your teammate from Panda. Astral just hit it way too high. The aggression from Dignitas actually is what really bites them in the leg there. And I mean, you can't blame it. It just comes down to shooting accuracy. Season 8 flashbacks again, Corelli. Mousesports, I mean, they've gotten 3 quality goals here, but it really has come off the mistakes and the issues that Dignitas are facing in terms of having really poor touches.
Dignitas still able, though, to keep a lot of pressure on the offensive end, but you can see Mouse finding more and more space in the midfield. Starting to find some chances. Here's Speed with a bit of space and got past one, but gave the ball up. Yukio tried to make something happen in the quarter. Speed immediately met by Violent Panda, and Speed actually cuts it out himself. Cooks here is up, going to put this one on target. Yukio got back. Mouse, can they keep Dignitas locked in? We haven't really seen them be able to keep possession in their final third here, as Speed's trying to dish it off. Gets Violent Panda to go, but Yukio there to clean it up, and that's really, that attack right there for Mouse is just kind of the epitome of their offense so far. It really hasn't been much. It's really just been speed.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
But they've been able to punish when necessary. I mean, the first goal they got was a missed touch from a save on Astral, where he should have gotten a bigger clear. And I mean, even thinking back to that earlier hit, or the 50, excuse me, from Yukio, where he got stuffed by Cooks. Both teammates even expecting him to get a solid touch. Just some mistakes on the side of Dignitas that are very uncharacteristic of them. I mean, the possession, the aggression from Mouse is not overwhelming by any means. They just haven't got solid mechanics.
Here's Violent Panda. So he gets under one. Time running out here for Dignitas with a 3-goal deficit. Cooks here happy to throw it downfield for Mouse. Here's Arju. Has Speed in the midfield. Speed shot goes high. Astral now quickly downfield. Violent Panda's up. Arju in net. Can he make the save? And he does off his own post. What a touch for Violent Panda. Here's Astral on the pass. Left side shot goes in. And there's life for Dignitas.
Another chance for Astral, and he sinks it. This was off that playstyle we talked about, where you can keep the shots hammering on the net. You don't let back. You're resilient with your pressure. Shot after shot. It finally opens up for Astral. They put their first goal in here in this game. They've got a huge obstacle in front of them, though. 2 goals to get in 50 seconds. If they can maintain that mid-boost possession, I think they've got a chance here, though.
Well, they are on the right side of the field. Archie does a great job of shutting it down high into space away from Dignitas. The less they're on the ball, the better. 30 seconds left now.
Here we go.
Violent Panda pass over to Astral. Flip goal for Astral, and they're within 1.
Panda, are you kidding me? Jumping upside down, using his jump to boost himself back down to the ground. A beautiful pass out to Astral. That play was insane. That was hard as nail. You cannot get any better of a play between your teammates than that.
And there's still work to be done here. 20 seconds left for Dignitas off the kickoff. In the final third, have to break the defense one more time. Astral, this could be their last look. Gets the dunk, looking for Violent Panda. He's got to get up. Arju doesn't connect. They were both playing each other's touches. Now Speed going to carry this one away. And time might hit 0 seconds as Speed can kill it. It still popped up here. Violent Panda fighting for it. Dignitas still could do it here if they can keep it up. Astral picks up full boost. Cooks here finally kills it down. And the last second heroics are just not enough against Mouse here in game 3.
Yeah, they managed to hold on with that booming clear, and thanks to Arju, a lot of the time, he had some great defensive stops. I loved what I saw from him. While he's been a little bit more quiet so far for everybody on the side of Mousesports, he's a player that, you know, he has been filling in the gaps very well, and you got to give credit to him when it comes to, you know, being on defense and getting solid clears to stall out a lot of time. That's what really led to this win here. But aside Dignitas, I can't mention it enough, where those 3 goals that we saw from Mouse at the beginning of this game, it was solid punishment from Mouse. I mean, don't get me wrong, but then you compare it to the quality of shots. I mean, even like a shot like that, Astral, he banged it above the crossbar, a situation that's very unlikely where we expect him to put it on net. If they can fix up a little bit of these mistakes, I mean, it has got to be so much closer, as they even towards the end of this game started getting momentum.
Yeah, I think there were a lot of mistakes from Dignitas that Mouse were able to capitalize. I think that goal from Cuts here, I think doesn't go in probably 8 times out of 10, knowing what happened in that one. But I feel like for Mouse, though, they were able to put on some chances. This was their best look as far as the games we've seen so far against Dignitas specifically today. I feel like Mouse, though, definitely still need to step up against this Dignitas team. Cut out those passing lanes. You got to get a hold of Astral. The guy is running all over you right now, and he's doing such a good job for Dignitas to keep that pressure on.
Yeah, you don't want to let him get those double taps that we saw yesterday. Those were really outstanding, and they opened up a lot of space here. And Dignitas, they always have control of the mid boost. I've been trying to pay attention to this a lot of this series. Has a great pass out from Yukio to Violent Panda off the kickoff. Their momentum from last game has been carried onto this.
And Cooks here too slow on the challenge, and a great little touch from Yukio just to keep the play on, and Violent Panda saw it all the way. Dignitas in the lead first.
And I was talking about mid boost before that goal came out. Dignitas, every time they get on the aggressive foot, it feels like the mid boost is always theirs. You know, I've been watching Speed's perspective, and he struggles to get a lot of boost sometimes, mainly because Dignitas, they're all over those mid boosts. You can't rotate anywhere else besides either your own end, which is getting starved out itself, or you go all the way out of your way to steal the other opponent's boost in the other half, and at that point, you're so far out of position. So for Mouse, this is why we're seeing such a defensive playstyle from them, because they can't get those mid boosts.
And I mean, that's what keeps their attack on. But here's Arju with a shot of his own, and Mouse trying to put on some pressure. Great pinch here from Cooks here as Speed meets it inside the box in the air, and this is some good pressure here from Mouse, making that defense think about it. Dignitas really getting stretched out right now in boost guard. We see Astral going into a challenge with no boost here. Speed trying to fight for it. Opportunity and chances are here for Mouse if they can get a hold of it one more time, but it's Violent Panda to slow things down.
Yeah, and he stuffed out 2 players there with a 50. That was incredible defense from him in the corner here. But Cooks here, look at this space. I like what I'm seeing, actually. This time, instead of just booming it down, he finds a teammate. And this leads to a great shot on net. Plays like that are what we expect to see, where Cooks here can take his time, go up the wall, find a teammate, put a shot on net, and then somebody cleans it up. This is so much better Rocket League in a close game here.
Man, I thought Speed was going to get that second touch there coming down from the ceiling or the wall there, and he almost did, at least in the net. And Mouse still scoreless here, but definitely looking better, trending upward here in the series, and just when you need it, when backs against the wall here, they got 1 win to their name. Dignitas still knocking on the door. Astral drops it down to Yukio, and Speed doing a better job of reading these passes from Dignitas. It's getting harder for them to break down this Mouse defense. Cooks here, cuts out the pass to Violent Panda. Speed backflips. And this ball actually comes off Violent Panda,
no.
and it comes out to Speed, who's gonna put it away for Mouse.
This is so fortunate for Arju. As he tries to get the pass out to Speed, it bounced off Panda's car, and it's almost a bit of an own goal where Panda kind of just cleared it to his own side. He had no control of that as he was just simply rotating out in the midfield. Another tough break for Dignitas, but on the side of Mouse, I mean, you are so happy right now that you were at least able to carry away a solid goal. And another chance here. Astral, what a save, the pre-jump. These guys are not letting up as long as they can control it.
Yeah, what a read from Astral there. He figured Speed was going to go on the inside there, and he read it perfectly. Astral, again, drops it off to Violent Panda, rips a shot on target. Cooks here there and ready. Violent Panda still keeping the possession, and this one's out to Yukio. Cooks here again on the back wall, keeping it clean, not letting anything come off it. Nobody from Dignitas able to follow anything up at the moment. That's exactly what you want from Mouse. It's all you can do. Now Cooks here has a bit of space, try to give it over to Speed, but not far enough. A 1-1 game and a very tense game here. Mouse definitely heating up, but Dignitas still playing at full potential here. Violent Panda trying to fight for it in the box. Yukio's pushing people around. Astral went, and they couldn't convert, and now Mouse are able to break out.
And that's exactly what I want to see from Yukio, was that physical play. I think that's one of the best things he has to offer right now to Dignitas and this roster, because Astral's going for those crazy mechanical plays. And then Panda with solid passing out, but that slips past the defense. A lob towards the net. I didn't expect this to even float in, but Arju on the backboard had a big miss.
And it's 77 boost there for Arju, and he just missed the touch with the top of his car, or the front of his car. And that mistake might cost Mousesports here. Minute and 20 seconds left. Still plenty of time to get one back. But a mistake like that could be devastating, at least at the morale of the team.
I mean, that is tough, especially when Dignitas, they were starting to get even more and more aggressive. Their possession game starting to pick it up as well, as we see Astral go for more mechanical plays. Yukio's getting more demos. A goal like that you cannot give up right now. Probably one of the worst times that's got to be in your head.
Arju trying to right for his wrongs here as he gets one off the post. Close chance for Mouse. 45 seconds left. Dignitas now trying to get that insurance goal, and they're keeping Mouse locked in here. Great block, though, from Cooks here to get them out. This one's over Yukio, comes off the back wall, follow-ups there, and Arju, another good chance, but a good save from Astral, and Dignitas get out.
And that's what maybe his third or fourth this game, where Astral's had a beautiful stop where he manages to just pre-jump that shot. His read on where the opponent's really going to hit that ball has been spot on. Astral, a defensive legend this game.
10 seconds left. Mouse got to go the length of the field. That one almost pinched into their net. Cooks here. It's up to him. He's got to do it. One. He does over Violent Panda, has speed to his left, and Astral shuts it down. Great touch by Arju. Speed still keeping it up. Can Mouse keep this alive? No. Shut down by Violent Panda, and Dignitas will take him down 3-1 in the series.
And normally I expect to see Dignitas take a win off of their passing, their possession on the offensive side.